While the rest of the country is going through hell, 6 of the largest oil companies made more than $100 billion in profits. It's outrageous. And these companies are taking the average profits they've been making by refining oil over the last 20 years. Either begin to invest in America or pay higher taxes on your excessive profits and face other restrictions.
There was President Biden playing to the crowds in Florida yesterday, threatening oil companies with a windfall tax if they do not do what he says. One Wall Street Journal opinion piece this morning calls the president's plan, quote, energy policy for dummies. Joining us right now is Republican Senator from Wyoming. He's the ranking member of the Senate Energy Committee and a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. John Barrasso is here. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. Give us your reaction to what you just heard from the president.
Well, it's a soundbite. It's not a solution. Look, the president and the Democrats declared war on American energy day one, killed the Keystone XL pipeline, blocked oil and gas exploration, and the American people have been paying a very high price for this at the pump, at the grocery store, ever since, and the Democrats are going to be made to pay a very high price for this come Election Day.
Well,
so the president has now announced this windfall profit. Look, it's going to backfire on the Democrats. Jimmy Carter did the same thing, had the same problems. It's going to lower production, not increase energy production. When I see the president at the podium up there, I mean, I see a president who's overwhelmed, ineffective, really desperate. Right now, you just want to take down the presidential seal and put up a help wanted sign. Well,
I mean, look, you feel it in Wyoming. Your state is an energy producing state. Can you walk us through some of the things that this administration did? As you say, on day one, on week one, they canceled the Keystone pipeline, certainly. But what have they done in terms of putting limitations in place for oil companies to actually get leases approved or increase drilling and increase production? Because he's talking as if they can do so with no problem, but isn't it his policy that put the limitations in to begin with?
Well, it is his policy, and he has broken the law, and the courts have even said that this administration has broken the law in terms of not doing these oil and gas leases to allow for exploration on public lands. Revenue comes into the federal government as a result of that. They blocked all of that, blocked the construction of pipelines, the infrastructure that we need. And the president may have forgotten this, but just a couple of months ago, he and all of the Democrats voted for it, and he signed into law additional taxes on oil and gas production. We need the energy. We need all of it. The reason to produce the American energy here will lower costs for consumers. That's critical. We can then more cheaply refill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, our emergency sources that the president has, I believe, used irresponsibly. We can once again become energy dominant as a nation, energy independent. We're still 1 million barrels a day less than we should be, and it's because Joe Biden and the Democrats have choked off American energy. It is a self-inflicted wound. We need to unleash American energy. We take back the House, take back the Senate. That's the focus.
Do you think you'll take back the Senate majority? We had Senator Rick Scott on earlier, and he said that he's expecting the GOP to have 54 seats in the Senate. Is that what you look for?
Well, I've been talking to our candidates around the country. I'm going to be in Nevada this weekend with Adam Laxalt, helping all our campaigning with him. I'm optimistic, and here's why. The American people under straight Democrat rule are very concerned, almost sickened by the impact of the direction of the country, by where they think the economy is going, by their own future. And this election is going to be a report card on the Democrats' policies. And they get an F on inflation, an F on the economy, an F on the border, an F on crime. The American people do not believe the Democrats are really up to the task of dealing with the issues that are the major issues of the American people, which is being able to fill your gas tank and your grocery cart on the same week. We can't do it. If we want to stop the damage, we need to just get rid of the Democrats and vote Republican up and down the ticket.
Well, will you be able to stop the damage? What can you do to reverse this? Because, as you say, inflation is at 40-year highs, and it's interesting to see real pocketbook issues driving the vote this time around. By the way, the president continues to say that if the Republicans gain the edge after the midterms, inflation gets worse. And he's also talking about inflation on a global stage. Here's what he said about that yesterday. Watch.
You know, we're dealing with it for a whole second. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now because of a war in Iraq and the impact on oil and what Russia's doing. I mean, excuse me, the war in Ukraine. And thinking of Iraq because that's where my son died. Because he died. But the point is that you know, that's why it's up. We have the lowest inflation rate of almost any major country in the world.
Wow, a lot of missteps there. He said that inflation is because of the war in Iraq. He corrected himself to say Ukraine, and then he said his late son, Bo, died in Iraq. We know that Bo died of brain cancer in 2015, Senator. Your reaction?
Well, as I said earlier, we have a president who is overwhelmed and ineffective, and we're at 40-year high inflation right now in this country. The president denied that for a full year. Said it was going to be temporary. Wasn't anything. Don't worry about it. Well, the American people have worried and have paid a huge price as a result of that. Then the president started looking for people to blame, and he has a whole litany of folks that he's blamed over the last 2 years. We know the cause of the inflation. It's runaway government spending that was passed only with Democrat votes. Republicans will be able to stop that day one. Massive amount of red tape from this administration, which has hurt our energy production and so many things. This inflation is, your last segment was talking about real estate. If you're further, people are falling further and further behind. If you're a young couple trying to save for a home with double inflation rates, no way you're going to be able to buy that home. And if you're a senior trying to sell a home so you can move to be closer to the grandkids, hard to get that asking price.
Yeah, well said. We're going to be watching all these issues. Senator, we'll be watching you on the campaign trail and talk with you along the way. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, Senator John Barrasso. Stay with us. We'll be right back.